Gaming. We'll take your phone calls 877-853-5247. Meeting ID is esportsXTRA. That is 377-678-9872. At the pound button twice to join the show. Larry Ridley here, SMI TV, little NBC Sports. Matt, NFL, little NBA 2K League. Got 4-on-4, not quite 5-on-5, a little more beefier than the 3-on-3. So somebody's got to sit it out. I think it's going to be me today. I'm just going to relax and let you guys kind of go at it. No, Kelly, you're the only female voice in here. We got to have you. So
I'll just be the coach.
You'll be the coach? Okay.
Yeah, I'm in charge.
You're in charge?
Still got to talk.
Yeah,
Oh, of course. You know Larry's not going to not talk. Come on now.
True that.
Come on.
Well, I mean, unless you say something crazy about, Cam Newton or Colin Kaepernick, I'm cool. I'm chill. We don't have to worry about that today because Derwin's on daddy duty. So, Kelly, how you doing?
Phenomenal. Happy to be here with you guys. Two nights in a row.
Ooh, she is all the way back, fully back. Hey, Willie, just slid on in here like somebody was sliding some DMs, a little quick in and out. Hey, Willie, appreciate you. Thank you for joining us.
It's draft night, man. People calling and texting and talking about stuff at the very last second. So.
Yeah, I got you. We're going to get out here early tonight. What's up, OG? How you doing out there in OHIO?
I'm good, actually. We got a big one on Saturday, too, against the Hoosiers, man. They've been playing pretty good, so I can't wait to see that.
Yes, it'd be Indiana, right? Top 10 matchup, right?
9 versus 3.
No, they're 3 versus 9. Ohio State and Indiana. My cousin, who I saw in Atlanta, who got me in all that trouble, played in Indiana. So, I got some love for the Hoosiers out there. And my other buddy, who I saw that same weekend, who got me in trouble again, he was a Kappa. And, of course, the Alpha chapter is at IU. So, it's crazy, OG. You bring that up, and I'm like 6 degrees of separation, and it got Ridley in trouble last week. So,
got bucked.
But that's the God's honest truth. So, that's good stuff. Are you guys ready to get started?
Let's get it, man.
Let's.
We'll take your phone calls 877-853-5247. Meeting ID is 377-678-9872 at the pound button twice to join the show. Coach K back there pushing all the right buttons. Larry Ridley here. K Dubs, Kelly Wells Brinkley. A Dubs, A Willie, and the OG, although he ain't the oldest, like the second youngest on the show, but he's still the OG. Ivan Curtis. We're talking NBA draft. We'll get into some other NBA stories. Russell Westbrook, John Wall, Gordon Hayward as well. We'll get into Jameis Winston. We all go eat some dubs tonight. Kelly, what you too proud to? You better get in here and eat some.
Looking like crab legs.
Wow, good one.
There's only 2 things in this world that smells like fish.
I knew it was coming back.
And one of them is fish. So,
I knew it was coming back.
We'll get into Jameis. I was in Orlando. Actually, Jameis is a cool dude. I liked him because they won the national championship. I was out there. Went back the following year. They got drugged by Marcus Mariota and those guys. And they got a college football playoff out in the Rose Bowl. But I interviewed him one-on-one when he won right before he at the Disney Awards in Orlando, and he was so cool, man. I liked, and this was like not too long after the the crab legs and things of that nature. So shout out to Jameis Winston. Go get his chance to start down there in NOLA. All right, let's go to the top NBA draft. It's tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Will not be at OG's place of employment, the Barclays Center. It's going to be in the studios of Bristol, Connecticut. Virtual drafts have done well this year. It started with the ladies. Shout out to the ladies. All the ladies in the house say yeah. WNBA. Started with them in April. They I think their draft was up, a couple of 100%. The NFL draft was huge, did great ratings. So hopefully the NBA can follow suit tonight. Of course, the number 1 pick going to the T-Wolves, Minnesota. Golden State with the number 2 pick. As far as our New York teams, the Knicks, I believe, are 8th. Cleveland, I believe, is in the top 5 as well. I know Boston's got 3 first-rounders, like 14, and then a couple in the 20s, 23, 26, somewhere around there. I think the Knicks traded up to 23 with Utah as well. One of their so the Knicks are in the first round a couple of times as well. How much you guys looking forward to the draft tonight? We got LaMelo Ball, who probably will be the number 1 pick. I love Edwards' game, although sometimes he sort of, melded in on defense. He's got all the tools. He's like 6'6", somewhere around there. 6'5", big point guard with some size. I like Toppin. I wonder where he's going to go. Is he going to be top 3, or will he fall to like 7, 8, or 9? Maybe the Knicks can pick him up. You got Wiseman, of course, played at Memphis before the eligibility issues, I guess. We'll start with the lady because she is the queen of esports extra. Kelly Wells Brinkley, go baby.
Yeah. No, I said this earlier. I feel like they haven't given me a chance to miss basketball yet. Um, we just finished,
They had a
and
month off. I mean, that's good.
that's not enough. Like you gotta. It's like that relationship. Like you gotta go out and miss the person in order to appreciate them. But no, I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to see where LaMelo goes. I feel like that whole family is always a 3-ring circus, so it's always fun to watch. I'm excited to see the rounds and who picks what. There's always curveballs and stuff that comes in from left fields, teams doing off the wall kind of thing. So I'll be tuned. I'm actually tuned in now, so I'll be tuned in to see
Hey,
what's
hey,
happening.
How you gonna pay attention? I mean, how you gonna do
I'm
this?
a
You got your
woman. We
blinders on?
multitask. We
Oh,
multitask.
she
Like
just threw
we
all
do
half the
this.
world under the bus. So us guys, we can't. Well,
Fight
you're right
me.
about that. We're not gonna fight you because most of us would lose. So we don't want to take the L. We'll go to our resident NBA guy, Suns scout, formerly. Been on the phone with a bunch of NBA guys. What are you hearing? Hey, Willie, you got some ears to the street in the association. First of all, who's going number 1?
I've been hearing Anthony Edwards, but
I know. What's up
but
with that?
well, again,
Fine.
though, at this time of year, it's you don't know what's really true and what's not, right? People saying things and why they're putting them out there. You don't know what. Sometimes agents float that, hey, my guy didn't do very well in the workout or an interview, so they can sort of position their player to go somewhere else. So all of the smoke and mirrors are going on right now. But then the other thing too, when you have a draft like this, when there really isn't a certain number 1 and a lot of the guys didn't even play an entire season, or, in the case of LaMelo, he didn't play college basketball at all. It lends itself to a lot of conversations. And I can say this from being in those rooms, the most interesting things that happen are the things that don't happen, the things that people talk about that never make the public. Those are the most interesting things that go down on draft night. So again, everybody is up into, doing their things in the 11th hour. When people are calling in trades, it all depends on who's on the board, who's not. There have been times when I was in the room where we're literally trying to get in the pick and they're saying, hey, all right, guys, you're going to lose your pick. So, those types of things happen as well because you're getting trades at the very last second. So very interesting night. A lot of fun. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, OG, no clear cut favorite. I know, it depends on what my team, the makeup of my team, what it looks like. Would I take Melo? Would I take Edwards? Hell, Wiseman would be a great. I think he'd be a great 5 in the NBA right now. A guy that
Hmm.
can run the floor. I love Toppin. See that
Topping.
growth.
I'm with you. That's
The thing about Obi though, he's like what 22, 23. Because they say, well, these old guys that come out, most of them don't really pan out to be stars. I don't know. I thought he looked pretty damn good last year. OG, if you are the GM or you are the ownership of the Minnesota Timberwolves, who do you take?
I think with them, a perimeter player is more prevalent than a big. I mean, you got Carl
So
Anthony
then
Towns.
it's Edwards then, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, no, I like I like Melo, man. Like, cause he give you a different look. I mean, he can. I look at Edwards as more as a 2 guard, slasher. I
Yeah.
mean, I think LaMelo he can run the show or he can play off ball. Not saying that Edwards can't do it. I just think Melo can do it better.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, hey Willie, real quickly, your thoughts here. If you're Minnesota, who should you take? Not who will be number 1. Who should Minnesota take? Who fits in better with the T Wolves?
If I were them, I would
Yeah.
take LaMelo Ball number 1. If I were them, and the reason why is because when you look at LaMelo and what he can do is something similar to what OG was saying. Like I think what he can do, and you look at D'Angelo Russell. One of the things that people sort of don't talk about with D'Angelo Russell is D'Angelo Russell is most effective when he's playing in pick and roll sets, right? And the pick and roll sets are great. That's awesome. But you need somebody that can just get it done when, let me clear the floor out. and let me get a bucket when everybody knows that I'm the guy that's going to get a bucket. And LaMelo gives them that option as well as the ability to get off the ball and play with D'Angelo Russell, so they can be interchangeable. And I personally think, again, in today's league, if you're going to win and you win big, your guards have to be able to play both positions and get off the ball as well as play on the ball. So one of the things that LaMelo was doing in when he was playing in Australia in particular, he proved that he could do both. So, if I were them, I would take him.
Probably has the highest ceiling too. I love Edwards. I don't know. I mean, when I'm looking at his comp, I know he loves D Wade. I'm like, I don't know if he'll be that, but we'll be a big guard. We'll probably get, probably average 18 to 20. But LaMelo seems like the ceiling's a little bit higher. That's where I'll probably go LaMelo. But coming out first year, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe Edwards, scores the ball better next year.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
That's the comp from them. So
yeah.
All right. Good stuff. We'll see how it shakes out tonight, man. We'll make sure we get out of here so we can all watch it. Russell Westbrook, John Wall, there's some conversations about a trade between H-Town and the district, DC, with the Wizards. You guys' thoughts on this? You look at the contracts, they're both pretty onerous. So they kind of work out. You look at John Wall coming off that injury. Still, I don't know if he'll still be a blur. They both struggle from range and shooting from the perimeter. Both can get to the bucket whenever they, pretty much the hell they want to. I like this as a trade, although with John Wall coming off that injury, I just don't know right now. But if I'm going to lose Russell, it's not bad. You can do a hell of a lot worse than John Wall. OG, I just saw a smirk on your face. You don't like it. Why not?
I mean, I've been hearing things. There's got to be something going on. I mean, it's a lot of people want out of Houston. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much better you getting Wall over, Russ, man. Like, I mean,
no, you're not going to get better, but if you're going to lose him, you have to replace him. So that's right.
And then I can't imagine Russ being in Washington. Like, I mean, it's like his career is like going like down this way. Like, I mean, so I'd feel bad for Russ. I mean, I know he catches a lot of flack, but I like him. I just don't think, I don't. It's hard because when you watch Russ play and you see the antics and you see everything, it don't tell this whole story. And sometimes it just seems like he hasn't had the right roster that really fits him. Kind of the same what I was talking about with Giannis. But in this case, I don't know what fits him because a lot of times
he had the right roster. He just wasn't acting right.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. It don't seem like he want to fit in, to a roster. So maybe Washington might be the best place for him. Like, I mean,
well, I told you it's a team like Washington or the Knicks, and it's like, go Russ, be you, do your thing, and you'll play in the 7, 8, 9, 10 game.
Put up all the numbers. You'll be a Hall of Famer.
But your heart desires, exactly.
Right.
Kelly, your thoughts? Do you like this deal? And I'm okay with it. I really am, especially if Russ wants to go. Then, yeah, you could do worse than John Wall. I just think it's like, damn, they're two very similar players. They'll probably both give you 20 and 10. It's just it's not very economical.
One comes without a headache, though.
Well, I mean, John Wall's a different headache.
Yeah, but oh gosh, like I would take that over like, oh, he's so cute though. Like little Rusty's a headache. Like when I'm just like he be making me clutch my pearls. Like why? Just and so let him go. Like if I don't think anybody should ever stay where they don't want to be. So let him go. Let him go to Washington, score 1,000,000 points, and maybe he'll be happy and act right then. Now you might not be going anywhere, but shoot it 1,000,000 times. Whatever. And I think it's a pretty even trade. I mean, I've been hearing the rumors of why everyone wants out of Houston and what's going on with all that. So if you want to move around. You're only young once.
You're there in Houston. What are you hearing? What's the scuttlebutt? What's on talk radio? What are the great citizens of Harris County talking about?
We
Sitting in
we
the
flipped it
Harris
blue.
County jail, spending all my little time. Remember that
Okay.
song? You
No, I don't.
Hey, Willie, you remember that, don't you? Hey, Willie, you got me?
Is that what song is that?
I don't
know.
We
No.
both can't say. I just remember the lyric. It was a rap song. Spending all my broken glass was everywhere. So
I know what you're talking
miss
about.
my free world. I'm so all alone.
Man, I know they went Donny Hathaway with it, but man, like I can't remember what song it was though.
Coach K, look it up. Look it up, Coach K. Go ahead, Kelly. Look it up.
Yeah, no, I don't even know. Oh, well, so what are they saying? So they're saying that, players are really disgruntled by the ownership being so, I mean, they're in there behind Trump. They're his best friends. They're holding up flags and posters, and they were backing him, and it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, especially like not just because he's Republican, because you have your own beliefs behind a party system, especially behind how you fall economically, but just the
DJ Screw.
message.
There it is. DJ Screw.
No, I don't know that song. I'm sorry. I'll look it up though. Text it to me.
Screw is a legend.
But
Screwed and chopped, man. Yep.
yeah, not chopped and screwed.
Chopped.
Yes.
Scattered, smothered, covered. It's all the same. Yeah.
Hey, wow. They used to have a blueberry waffle there. They don't serve anymore. It was delicious. Sidebar.
Okay.
But yeah, they didn't like players don't like the whole, staunch Trump support and how open they were about it, especially with, what they consider that he represents, especially because if you're a person of color, it seemed very unfriendly. So how can you advocate for players and players of color and what they're doing in the community if you have a different political backing?
Sure. Now we talked a little bit about that. We touched on that the other day with the owner, a huge, a staunch, Republican and Trump supporter. So you can see how that could have a look. Like we talked about, James wants out. When you can turn down 50, not $50, 50 million, and 103 over 2 years, you pissed. And then at that point, it ain't about money. It's about principle at that point, and I can respect the hell out of that. Hey, Willie, your thoughts here, man? Wall, Westbrook, boy, two peas in a bucket.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I don't give a damn.
Hey, it didn't Flavor Flav start a verse off like that on the Ice Cube joint? Two
Yes,
peas
he
in
is.
the bucket. Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
What I look at is two rebuilding teams, and what I would think is in next year's free agent market, both of those teams will have, if they were to make this swap, both of those guys will be on expiring deals, I believe, next year. So
Yes.
with that being said, I think those would be valuable trade pieces next year, not this season coming up. They both play their respective seasons in their
Although I think
locales.
Russell has an extra. I think he's got 2 years.
He might have.
I think he
might have two after this year.
And Wall might have two too, because did he just sign that deal like 2 or 3 years ago?
I'm not. I got to look at that. But
Yeah, we gotta look that up.
Yeah, but if they were both expiring, I thought they were both. I looked though, but I that's what I would look at. I don't think either team is doing this because they're like, hey, this is gonna put us over the hump or things or anything like that. But for me, when I look at this, it's really. I think both of these players as all-star caliber players that rely on athleticism and also have huge egos. That's probably the reason why they're good. I think both of these players may have some issues playing in some rebuilding situations. So I wouldn't be shocked if they get to their locales and try to force their way out of there. But for me, I don't think this really moves the needle for anybody, and I don't think in terms of having
both 2 years left, both free agents in 2023.
In 2023,
yeah, that could be that extra year it could be a player option, but right now free agents.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
I thought Russ had 2 more years.
Yeah, what the options are. But if they're player options or club options or something like that, but for me, I don't see how this benefits either player, and I don't think at this juncture in both of their careers, I don't think they're both really down for a rebuild per se. So. If this were to happen, it'd be interesting to see what they do next because, especially as a guy that tore his Achilles.
So they have 1 extra year after this year. and then a player option. That's why it's really 3 years, but really it's 2.
It's
and
2,
then a player option. But when you're making 40 and it's a player option, damn it, I'm giving it to you. Because you ain't gonna walk away from it unless you can outdo it. So that's gonna stick.
You can opt in if you want, or
that's why Gordon Hayward's got there. We'll get to that. He's got a player option now. 31 million.
But I'm looking at those guys again, having accomplished all the things that they've accomplished, and John Wall coming into his 10th year in the league. I don't know if those guys would opt in for another rebuild, after they're doing it for 1 year. So, those actually end up being valuable trade chips because, you go through back channels and you ask when you're trying to acquire that chip in terms of their contract, do they plan on opting in or not? Right. Sure. And if you get that assurance that they're not going to opt in, well, that becomes an expiring deal. Yeah. So, so with that being, go ahead.
No, go.
So with that being said, maybe those are valuable chips for teams that are, similar to OKC. Okay, I got this guy. Maybe he can help you as a team. You want to trade for him. You give me some assets for the future, get him, and he opts out of the deal. So he becomes a free agent. That's money off your books.
Good point. Let's go across the board. And this is why it's so tough, because I'm going to ask you a very direct question. Right now, who would you rather have, Russ or Wall, OG?
Damn.
I know it's a tough, because if Wall didn't get hurt, I'd probably say slightly in the Wall. He's a little bit younger. But both of the contracts are over.
I mean, Russ is like a robot too, man.
He gets hurt.
Yeah, and when he does get hurt, he comes back like he never was hurt. Like, I mean, so
that's why right now, gun to my head, I'd say Russ. And it'd be like a visceral reaction, but I'm like, all right, give me Russ. But like I said, if Wall wasn't hurt the last year or two, I'd probably say, well, with my team today, give me Wall. He's a little bit younger, and I can get 20 and 10, and the contract's a little less than Russ. But go ahead, OG. That's what I would think.
No, I'm taking Russ. I mean, even with everything said, I'm taking Russ. I mean, I know I'm getting max effort every night. I mean, I'm taking Russ.
Kelly? I know it's not a good choice.
Yeah, can I say no one?
So see, that's the problem with Hillary and Trump. That's the problem with Hillary and Trump.
I voted. I got my sticker. But no, I think
it's
right
binary.
now
You got to choose one. You got to choose us.
Yes.
It's called binary. Yes.
All things considered, I think I'm gonna go with Russie. With everything out there, as much as
So, all right, so 3 for the Brody. Hey Willie, you're the savant on this show when it comes to hoops, man. Who you got?
I'm taking Russell Westbrook, and because and one of the reasons why I'll take him too is because again, if you have him, you don't necessarily have to have an elite rebounding big man because he can help you there. So that covers up.
He'll give you a triple dub. Do everything and get it too.
and then today, right? No question. And then today, with these dudes wanting to be away from the bucket, I love to have a guard that can rebound. That's one of the things I like about LaMelo as well. So I would take him from that standpoint. And the other thing too, when you're playing a 82 game season, and sometimes dudes have a tendency to be flat. Well, you never really have to worry about that with Russell Westbrook, and the fact that he's so good at what he does, it almost forces the other guys to play with energy as well. So I'll take Russ from that standpoint.
I think we all agree. Real quickly, Convicts, DJ Screw, yes, sitting in it's called. This is for the convicts. The lyrics: sitting in the Harris County Jail.
Yeah.
Spending all my little time.
I remember the song, but I couldn't
not driving
remember
fancy cars. Yeah. And it ends with I'm just staring at bars, about to lose my mind. And this is the part what I got. So I get up to take a shower. Funky toes are everywhere. I really miss my free world. I'm so all alone. It was a bad song, but it was very catchy because you're like, damn, the Harris County Jail is really bad. Kelly, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you like that. It's pretty bad.
No, I shouldn't. I had enough right here. Thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to know nothing about the inside of a jail ever.
I don't want to ever see you in the Harris County Jail. You better stay out of there.
I got bail money. Relax.
Oh, boy, she just said,
Yeah.
Coach K, she said, All right, let's keep it moving. We'll keep it in NBA. Gordon Hayward, moved his he had a chance to exercise his option. The deadline was Tuesday, moved it till Thursday, which I'm like, that's after the draft. I thought they might try to, because you want to try to get some of your business done before the draft. Look, basically, bottom line is he's got 1 year left with his player options around 31 million. The Celtics really want to try to move on from him, although he's still a nice piece. I don't know if he'll ever be the all-star player he was, which was what, about 4 or 5 years ago. He was an all-star player. Coming off that gruesome injury a couple of years ago, the Hawks are interested in trading for him. Hawks in an interesting position, A. Willie, because they ain't got to do a damn thing. They can just kind of wait and just pay him.
Right.
The Celtics want some sort of compensation. I don't blame them, but they're in a bad position too because it's like everybody knows y'all kind of want them off your books. So it's like, what the hell's going to happen here, A. Willie? Hook me up. Talk to me, man.
It's interesting too being the Celtics because the other thing that you add to that as well is Danny Ainge is becoming a little bit to a certain extent how Jerry West was after he did the Kobe deal when everybody in the league wouldn't trade with him after that. Because I know after drafts after that, and drafts after that, the Lakers were trying to get Baron Davis when he was coming out, and they were like, "Nah, if you want him, we good." So, so Danny is getting a little bit of that reputation as well. So people are really hesitant to deal with him.
Good point.
But with that being said, I think one of the things with Gordon Hayward as well, in addition to the injury, I just think with the emergence of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, the room for him to contribute at an all-star level is just not there.
No,
right? And most of these guys are a product of their a situation that they're in, not necessarily their skills. It's really the situation.
But as bad as it looks, he still averaged around 17, 18.
He did, but
Jaylen Brown's at 20 now.
Yeah, and then the other thing as well too, when he was out, Marcus Smart figured out I can score the ball as well. So
and Marcus Smart, he's like their backbone. I like him. You know, he just got his deal a couple of years, about a year or two ago as well. So I'd be hesitant to sort of give him up. I know, unless I get somebody like a James Harden.
Right. So with that being said, I just think, especially when you look at them, so you have those three guys, then you add Gordon Hayward. They're so strong on the perimeter, and then they're so weak in the interior. They need a big guy. So with that being said, you know, if there's an opportunity to move on from Gordon Hayward and kind of get a big guy, I think that helps them a lot.
Yeah. Kels, your thoughts here. Gordon Hayward, if you're the Hawks, and we had on Lloyd Pierce a few months ago, very good guy. Love him. He's doing great work down there with the voting and getting people in position, and also with the social justice causes, also with the voting in what's the name of the arena down there? Is it the what's the name of the arena?
It's the Phillips.
No, it's not the Phillips Center anymore. Allstate.
Oh, is it that?
It's something. It's not Phillips anymore. I forget the name of it, but whatever. The arena in Atlanta would serve as a voting precinct this year.
State Farm.
Yeah.
State Farm. I knew it was one of them. Yeah, something like that. State Farm Arena. Thank you, Kev. Your thoughts, Kelly, here with Gordon. What, are the Celtics going to lose out on him? It looks like it. And if you're the Hawks, do you go get him?
Yeah.
You can open up some things for Ice Trey. Have a shooter out there.
Yeah, but I think that, you know, we talked about this earlier in the year with the C's of like them being at that pivotal point of like, what are you going to do? And so this is another move of like, what are you going to do? And, you know, sending him to Atlanta, like you got to get something in return for it. It can't be like a one-sided deal. Obviously, we're not giving up, you know, your grandma's house to get him to Atlanta. But, you know, what are we doing to get him there? And how is it going to balance out the C's on the back end of it? Because and I think it's such an interesting thing that we say, like, production is lowered at 17 points. Like, that's like averaging 17 points. Like, that's still significant. So, you know, I think he could still be a contributor, but the trend of the team is going in a different direction.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, Jaylen Brown has proven, you know, he was a first round pick about 3 or 4 years ago. So he's showing some signs that he's got some all-star potential as well. Then we all know about Jason Tatum, who's trying to get into that next stratosphere, which is he a top 10 player in the league? That's when you know you've arrived. Right now, definitely top 20. I would even say borderline 15, maybe at his best top 10. But I would say right now top 15. OG, your thoughts here with the Gordon Hayward?
You know, it's an interesting situation when you have a team that was loaded. Like, I mean, they had a ton of perimeter players, and when he got injured, as you already mentioned, you know, Jaylen Brown got better. Marcus Smart, you know, started showing improvement, And at this point, you got Tatum now, and like so. Once you start getting a trio of guards, Hayward kind of starts getting bumped out a little bit because
That's five perimeter players for 3 spots.
yeah, because he can't defend better than any one of them. I mean, so and now his game is kind of when I don't know if it's to the point that is diminished because his role is not as significant as it once was. So I think it'd be smart, obviously, for the C's to deal him. Just looking at where he go, I mean, Atlanta, I think is a good spot for him if he still got anything left in the tank because they need some help. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think he can help with them. I mean, you look at not only Ice Tray, but you got John Collins and a nice core young players, Cam Reddish. I mean, so I think that'll be a perfect spot for him.
Yeah, could be. There are worse spots. My thing with Gordon is, listen to the people in Boston. I think I think he might want out. I'm pretty sure he does. That's why they're going through the song and dance. That's why they're trying to give him some extra time, and also the Celtics trying to get some extra time to sort of trade him. I think it's sort of. I think he likes the town, but I think the media and some other things are sort of worn on him. He had the gruesome injury. Might be just time for change for scenery. Look, he came from Utah, where everything is sort of, you know, crystal clear, gentile, serene, out there in Utah. You go
Way
to Boston,
slower.
yeah, you go to Boston, it's like, dude, we trying to win. We ain't winning. We want to know why. And we gotta hear from you. So we'll see what happens to Gordon Hayward tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern now is the new deadline tomorrow. So we'll keep an eyes and ears open for Gordon Hayward. NFL, Jameis Winston, real quickly. Got in with the Saints, played the entire second half, if I'm not mistaken, this past weekend. Drew Brees, of course, out with the ribs. Also had a punctured lung, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, it's collapsed.
A
The
collapsed
whole
lung,
yeah.
yeah. So he's not on IR, which would mean he would have to miss at least 3 games. But you got to think he's definitely not playing this weekend and unlikely to play at least the following week. So Taysom Hill still there. Jameis Winston played most of the snaps this past Sunday. 6 of 10, 63 yards, no picks. You got to think though, with a week of game planning, we'll see how long, and how, you know, how much better he can play in this offense. What do you guys think? Is this a great audition, an opportunity for Jameis right here? We saw what Teddy Bridgewater did last year and parlayed that into a starting job. Hey, Willie.
Oh no, I think it's a great opportunity for Jameis because this is a team again that's playing well. They have aspirations of going far, and if he can keep the ship afloat, like I think this bodes well for him in the future in terms of looking at can we trust this guy now because he's now playing in big situations. So not only is he starting, but he's playing for a team that has some aspirations. So
He ain't gonna get the throw picks and Sean Payton keep his butt in there. That's for sure.
No, no, he's not. He's not. He's not. He was balling, man. Leave him alone. I keep saying that.
Well, he was balling, and sometimes he was unballing too.
No, man. That's when he said that at his press conference. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, he put up good numbers, but it's the epitome of inconsistent. It's like you're good. It's like 1 step forward and 2 steps back. I mean, at some point, where are you going?
Yeah, no. So I think for teams that are looking at again, and it's always interesting because especially in this draft too coming up with the quarterbacks that are at the top of it, it's an interesting conversation because there may be some teams that may not have their guy or feel like they have their guy, but they may be sitting in a position to draft their guy. So it's always interesting to think who needs quarterbacks and who doesn't. So when you have an opportunity to show and prove when you're playing for a team that has some high aspirations, got some talent around you, all the games mean something. I think it's a good evaluation tool to see what Jameis has. So I think
good point.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
OG, look, he's got tools. I mean, he threw for 5,000 freaking yards last year, 30 touchdowns or 32. Was it 32 and 32 or 30 and 30? Some over 30 touchdowns last year. A lot of it can be traced back to coaching. But look, guy won a national title. His college coaches at Florida State, they love him. I've seen him win big games. Yeah. Very smart, has a good arm. A little long with the motion, but he's sort of worked on that as well. Here's a guy you can work with. Clearly, he can play and start in this league. He just needs to be in the right system and the right position and the right opportunity.
No, I think it's a perfect one. I mean, because the one thing that he does have now that I think that I didn't think he had when he was in Tampa Bay was he's got a solidified running back. I mean, that can, not put so much pressure on him to have to, make every throw and rely on his arm all the time. So and on top of that, I mean, I think he has good receivers. Not saying that he didn't have that in Tampa Bay, but it's more of a balance in New Orleans. Although the expectation is higher, I mean, I think this is going to be end up becoming his spot to lose, because when I heard about that today with everything that's going on with Drew Brees, it kind of reminded me of the Alex Smith situation. Like, how do you still plan on playing quarterback, like, or just playing football? Period. Like, I can understand. I mean, it's some rough injuries that we're talking about. It's not like something light. Like, I mean, so I would almost think that Drew Brees' days might be numbered. And
he's got the deal set up with NBC to take over whenever he's ready.
yeah,
So
it
we see,
sound
we
it
see
sound
Tony
like
Romo making 17 million. So as an analyst, he could probably get 5 to 10 easily. Chill out, dog. You good?
yeah, right. That's crazy, crazy money right there. But yeah. I mean, but yeah, he's beat up now. I mean, I think Winston can take all the tutelage from Drew Brees and put that in his game. I think he's gonna be fine, and Sean Payton's gonna make sure he's not asking him to do too much.
Yeah, you can definitely do worse than Sean Payton. That's for sure. Kelly, your thoughts on Jameis right here? Trying to do his thing.
Yeah, I think that this could be yeah, stop that. I think that this could be a great opportunity for him. One, to show his maturity. I think that that is a large thing
He
of what
hasn't
he has
stolen
lacked.
crab legs in a year, so he's good.
Awesome, awesome, yay! Let's not
That's why I
steal.
made the crab leg reference earlier,
That's why,
because
yes,
Yeah,
and that's why I
yeah.
cried laughing.
I will say
Um,
this: the backstory to that, what we were hearing in Orlando at the time was he got cheated out of that one because the players were getting free stuff, and this time it just kind of went awry. I know kind of the real on that situation, but I just want to put that out there for
I
people.
can believe that.
yeah, I believe it, and
Come on, you're in
I
Tallahassee, you
mean,
play at Florida State. You got still $40 with the crab legs.
Definitely, that was my
agreed,
I'm
thoughts.
just putting it out there.
agreed.
I
I
got to
said
protect
that,
my
yes,
guy. Yeah,
yeah.
it was a little overblown. That was fun to report on because every day I would hear like little trickles of information, and it's crazy, but it was funny.
Wasn't there a thing where he was like on campus jumping on tables talking about FM in the something?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Wasn't
there's a
that a
rape
thing
charge. It
too?
was a. It was like it was a.
Right,
It
right.
was a.
I mean,
It was
there's
a.
a
It
right.
was, yeah,
He's been kind of clean since he's been in the
yeah,
league, thankfully.
yeah.
And rape charges should never be covered up,
No,
but
that's not. That's not.
we'll
That's a serious thing.
we'll circle back to that
That's
on
another
another show.
situation. That's
Yeah,
another
another show.
situation too.
But I'm excited to watch him play, to see him progressing in a different, environment, a different team, maybe seeing, how he operates when there's a staff that believes in him and cultivates him as a young man. And then he's playing for a team that's good. So that pressure is going to be on him of, we're doing good, we're winning, we're contenders. So maybe that'll elevate his level of play, because this is his position to lose right now, because a collapsed lung is nothing to play with. There's nothing to try to
Sure.
rush back from, because you could die. So I hope that, Drew Brees takes his time to, not rush back on the field, which most players do anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to watch Jameis in this position, because I feel like, maybe he'll flourish from playing in front and not playing for a team that is not so great.
Sure. Definitely a more complete team in New
That's
Orleans.
what I'm
Although
looking
Tampa had
for.
talent,
Got some
but a more
weapons. Yeah,
complete
yeah, for
more complete
sure.
team, and veterans in that locker room that are gonna the cams and those guys down there. They're gonna keep them straight and understand. Look, we're getting towards the end of our rope. We've had a bunch of opportunities in the playoffs. We've come up one and done. 4 or 5 straight years now. So this is an opportunity for the Saints to do some things. Yeah, when you look at that, it seems to me with that injury with Drew Brees, he's probably not going to miss the entire season, but you're right. It sounds and it smells like 3 to 4 weeks bare minimum to me. Maybe you get him back right before the regular season ends, but Drew Brees will be back definitely for the playoffs. But yeah, they've got 6 or 7 games left. Drew's going to miss at least 4 of them, so it's a great opportunity for Jameis to go out there and show the other 31 NFL teams. Real quickly, college basketball before we get out of here. Wichita State Greg Marshall parting ways. He's pretty much been let go. Um, Settlement was around $8 million, a little less, 7.75 over 6 years. Verbal and physical abuse, punched a player, ran after another guy for parking in a spot,
Choked up somebody.
choked up somebody. it took me back to my college days and my coach, God bless his soul, Boots Donnelly. His daughter is married to Doug Marone right now. I should know that. Yes, Doug Marone. My college coach is in the College Football Hall of Fame. Old school guy, used to smoke cigarettes. Ridley, what you doing, son? Love the guy. Used to wear like 4 or 5 jackets in the middle of fall camp in August. In freaking Nashville, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 95 degrees out there. He's got a turtleneck on, a hoodie, like a jacket, just crazy. I look at my Boots down. Great guy, love him. Taught me everything I needed to know about being a man. He did prepare me. He kicked the guy in the nuts. Okay, center was bent over, kicked him in the nuts. Guy was crazy, certifiable. Love him. Greg Marshall went on the line here, and there's the difference. This ain't 1994, dog. This is 2020. Actually, this stuff happened in 2015, 2016. These coaches better be careful, man. You mess around and get a damn wired jaw shut, dude. These boys, you can't be messing around with these dudes like that, dude. And I told my son, let me know if a coach ever put his hands on you, because we're going to have a situation on our hands. A. Will, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, and it's also I feel like, and I've said this before, but I really feel like this is an indictment on us as the people as well, because when you continue to send your kids to a coach when you know that that's his reputation, whoever the coach is, and you see some of that behavior manifest itself during the games. It's not like you have to ask, if you go to being recruited by a certain program. It's not like you need to ask. You can just look on tape and watch how a
lot
coach
of
is
this stuff
dealing
is
with the
behind the
players.
scenes, though, at practice and things of that nature, though.
It is, but what I'm saying is a lot of the behavior that leads to that, you can watch it during the games, right? And you can see this, and and we oftentimes continue to sign up to send our kids to these places under the guise of, yeah, they're getting you ready for the league. And again, I've said this before, newsflash, when you enter into a league where most of the players make more than the coaches can't talk to you like that. So it's not preparing you for the NBA. So, so with that being said, it's really, again, and I don't want to absolve him from anything that he's done, but at the same time, us as when we are sending our kids to these campuses, we have to be very smart and very vigilant about the things that we ask, the things that we see, and again, as you said as well, Larry, because here's the other thing. At the same time, because it's not the 90s, at the same time, right? Because a lot of us grew up where we fought with our friends and then you were friends the next day. So at the same time, I played for some very tough coaches, but a lot of those coaches knew don't cross a line at the same time, because players have become a little more pacified, they've actually become softer in a lot of regards. So coaches can get away with this stuff even more now, because players can be less confrontational, like, hey, I'm not putting up with that, right? And so with that being said, I think it becomes a little bit easier to a certain extent for coaches to do this stuff.
Yeah. Kelly, we've seen Bobby Knight, and this guy, he's got a reputation almost like Bobby Knight, bullying, verbal, physical abuse there. It's weird because I never would have noticed that or known that looking at Greg Marshall. I mean, we just showed video. Ron Baker, Freddie Van Vliet, and those guys. They had some pretty good teams, especially the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
Some great teams.
Great teams. Got screwed when they had to play Kentucky in the second round as a 1 seed.
I was at that game.
That was not an 8 seed.
St.
Kentucky's
Louis.
been screwed the last 3 or 4 years. How they've been seeded. That's a totally different story. But your thoughts here on Greg Marshall with 2 G's, now with no job.
No job. So I look at it from an athlete standpoint, and then also as a mother of a young Black man standpoint. One, if my son calls me and tells me that a coach, I'm okay with the jersey. You can give him a little jersey grabs, but like football, sometimes you got to get in there. If my child tells me a coach swung on him, he has to see me. I will be in the Harris County Jail. Like, he can get all the smoke.
Spending all my little time.
If I don't put my hands on my child, you don't either. And I don't
Funky
care
toes were
how old he
everywhere.
is. Are you? Can I say my part? Or no? Okay, I just. But yeah, if I don't hit my child, what makes you think that you can hit my child? Like, that is absolutely insane. I'm all for hard coaching my professional coach was the hardest, craziest person I've ever come into contact in my life. I had my hurdles thrown off the track, blocks thrown off the track.
But
I'm not
never,
performing. Get
never
your A
thrown
out of
at you.
practice.
Yeah, but never
No,
thrown at
no,
you.
no, no, no,
Exactly.
no. And all of those were mental tactics
Hmm.
because he knew that I need to be pushed
You want to
harder.
get more
Like
out of you.
I'm a
Absolutely.
hard head. Yes. So, but there is a line that he would never ever cross. He never called me a B or any kind of derogatory term. And so I think that there's a line. So if you cross the line, there is a consequence behind it. And I completely agree with A. Willie on we have to take responsibility as parents of where we send our children, whose hands we put them in, because we are handing them off to someone to continue raising them. The coach becomes an extension of the family, be it if we're not close or if we are close, because I'm entrusting you with the safety of my child. And if you are inflicting the harm against my child, like that's a major major problem. And we think, oh, this person's going to get my child to the league and da 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 da. But what happens when that person ends up harming your child more than helping them in the long run? Because that stuff can cause PTSD for some people. I know some people that trained with my coach that literally quit track because he was going to get the butter from the duck, and it caused PTSD from them.
Yeah.
And they couldn't, they never felt the same about track again. So you can't let these coaches steal that joy, and especially by putting your hands on somebody. Like I wish, I wish.
Definitely goes over the line. Definitely crossed that line numerous times. OG. I will say this: it's a little disheartening. It's very sad that we don't get to see. You don't see the African American coaches. They don't. I'm trying to think. Maybe Nolan Richardson, and that really wasn't a whole lot of not abuse to this level. They just you don't see that a lot, do you? OG, am I missing anything here? They
I
don't get the
mean,
opportunities, and maybe they don't get the
it
opportunities to fail down like this.
We have to
no,
be relationship guys.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's so tough. I mean, not that I'd ever give any coach a pass or anything like that, but this just happens to be the ugly side of high pressure situations in competitive sports. College coaches are under extreme pressure from the university boosters and everybody involved to win basketball games, and sometimes the methods that they use or that they choose to use are not always kind to motivate their I say student athletes, but and it's just crazy. I mean, some of the things that he would say to his players, I mean, it's borderline between being motivating and kind of and throwing slurs. And I think that's where really you start crossing the line. But for me, and I don't want to be the old guy to say in my day, you know what I'm saying? But when I served in the United States Navy,
Oh, that's totally different, dog.
hey,
Yeah,
hey,
they were preparing you to put
hey,
your life on the
hey,
line.
but no,
Your
but
life.
hold on,
What?
Kelly,
No,
hold
Your
what?
on,
life.
Well, that's
hold
true. But
on,
in
Kelly.
sports, they talk about it's like it's a war. We use these war themes all the time, so he's got a point.
But
Hey, but
that's not real war.
I,
When you go onto the field or you go onto the court, you're not really gonna die. You might be
but Kelly,
tired.
Right.
But being called something and seeing that it don't matter war, non-war, whatever. You still don't want to. You don't want to hear it. Like you don't want to go through the stuff that you go through.
Agreed.
I mean, I
Agreed.
get it, but I'm just saying, like for me, and I always say this. Rest their souls, James Bradford and Patricia Ann Curtis, who raised me at 4542 Prescott Avenue. They
Damn.
prepared me for any and everything,
Mm.
and I'm grateful for that because there are times, yeah, when you have to deal with BS from people, but you also have to learn how to gut it out if you can. I'm not
I
being
agree.
insensitive to anybody who has been affected from a situation that, like you said, caused them to quit what they once was passionate about or loved. But it is a ugly world out here, and
Well,
at
there's
some
a certain amount of abuse that I'm willing to take because of the stakes and where I'm at. Like I'm okay with the verbal stuff. It depends on what you're saying. But look, coaches are going to yell. They're going to scream. They're different motivational tactics. I'm okay with that. I am. You punch my kid in the jaw like he's some damn. Well, he is a man. Um. Well, then. can I punch your ass back?
I was gonna tell Kelly. I mean, once her son gets recruited, and they know who the dad is, I don't think she's gonna have to see no Harris County.
But why
Well,
should he get preferential treatment just because his dad did something?
You know why? Because
I'm not
freaking little Johnny gets it.
Hey.
Hell,
I was just about to say,
That's true.
I'm not saying that it should
That's
be
right.
like that, but I mean, we know that's the way of the
that
world
was real
sometimes.
talk. Little Johnny
I
gets
just
it.
feel like everybody should keep your hands and feet to
Feet.
yourself unless it is a
And
life
other
or death
objects. And other
or an
objects.
other object.
Hey,
La-
and you
la-
know what? Funny out of all this we've said, he walks away still with like 8.5 mil.
That's it.
7.75.
Bruh,
Yeah.
he's still winning. He's at home eating cucumber salads with 8 milli.
Man, he's eating grapes.
Hey, Larry.
Fire me.
Larry.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that our children don't ask the coaches what happens if I lose.
That's an esports problem. That's you've never done anything.
What happens
You've never picked up a
when
ball.
I
That's what that
lose?
is. You've never picked up a ball. Everything's with your
Someone
damn
is this
joystick.
a thing?
Yeah, we had a
Yeah,
kid.
it's
Yeah, we had a kid
Okay.
in one of our tournaments that said,
Yes.
"Hey, what happens if I lose?" And I was like, "Is he really asking this?"
you dead.
That's it.
You lost.
It
was
was
a
how it works.
It was a
Yeah.
Smash Brothers tournament.
Yeah, these he's a real esporty kid. I'm probably never seen a girl ever. Never seen a girl without clothes on. I guarantee that.
Right, man.
I think
Y'all
I'm
ain't right.
sure
I
of
think
that.
sometimes
I'm sure of that.
I think sometimes like especially like with the esports like
Come on, Larry.
like these like I'm like man
Coach K. Odds over under. You think he's ever seen a girl naked? I'm going hell no.
no
How old is
Absolutely
this
not.
person?
He was like 20, 21.
no
I don't know, 18. 18 was in college. I don't
no
know.
no nothing
Oh.
nothing
It's
And the-
fine,
and-
man. In multiple ways, he might be doing himself a favor.
And the
right
thing
now, but
is-
He
for
is,
him.
because we ain't nothing but trouble.
and the thing is
I said for him.
What happens if I lose?
if you
Let
leave
them lose.
if you leave it up to some of these kids to make these games, they'll probably like remove the scoreboard
Yep.
or something like that. It's like,
Oh, I did
But
Rocket
that's
League.
also how they're being brought up. Of when my
You're
little
right.
one, they've
That's
got
it.
these soccer games and there's
Participation
no
trophies.
score, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, no, I'm keeping score.
Mhm.
Like
There's a winner and a
I'll keep
loser.
it then.
someone
Now,
Yes.
everybody's gonna get
score.
ice. Everybody's gonna get ice cream, damn it! But there will be a winner and a loser.
Yes,
That's gonna happen
Yeah.
because we're gonna get ice cream. Damn it! I want some ice
But
cream.
only
too, so you're
one
gonna get
gets
ice cream.
sprinkles.
That's true. Rocket League. I do it for NBC Sports the last couple of years. Big deal. They put it on NBC Sports. $1 million prize pool. We're doing the tournament, and they don't call it winners bracket and losers bracket. No, upper and lower bracket.
Oh God.
And I'm like, if you lose, you go to the lower bracket. Yeah. Damn it, that's a loser bracket. No,
That's like
don't. They're like, Larry, don't call it losers
that's like
bracket.
the
I'm
eight.
What the hell is
champions.
it?
That's
What
like-
is it?
That's like
Yeah.
the 8 first place champions in the spelling bee.
Indianapolis coach, 2014 AFC finalist. You got beat 45-7 in the AFC Championship game, dog.
Yo,
Why
so
you
that's an
banner up?
argument. That's an argument in my home. So my husband's rookie year, they went to the NFC Championship game.
Uh-huh.
And so they lost. And so his thing is like, yeah, we almost made it to the Super Bowl. And I was like, so you were the 4th best team? There's not a because we definitely have egos here. I'm
Yeah,
like,
sure.
he's like, you didn't even win the Olympics. I was like, but you were the 4th best team one time.
All right.
That's
One
deep.
time.
That's deep for him to come back and say you didn't win the Olympics. You have to be a badass to come back
Hey,
with a
but-
badass answer like that.
Hey, but
Oh,
this the
come-
thing though, Kelly.
it's rough around
yours
here.
is yours is only every 4 years. He had 4 shots in between that time
Yeah.
to make
Look,
it to.
This is what I'm saying. And then I had to go into Wikipedia and pull up the Vikings record after that. I was like, oh, you won 2 games the whole season. oh, okay. Great. And I was like, and then mine is of the world, Craig, not of the city.
Right,
Of the world. Like,
Not
this
just
is
not
like
just 31 other teams. How about 31 other
everyone.
3,100 countries? Yeah.
everyone. Relax, sir.
Right. I'm
I
third
always
out of
have one
I'm
up on
third
him.
out of 8 billion. You're third out of 14.
No, he was fourth because they lost.
Right. I'm being facetious, but yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right. You do have the numbers on your side. That is true. Before we get out here, compete forever on Black News Channel this weekend, episode 25, Langston University, Madden. No, in NBA 2K. I
NBA
apologize.
2K.
Hey, Willie, NBA 2K homecoming. Hey, Willie's on this broadcast. Hey, Willie's funny. He's a hoot. He's always talking about rap references and got some great stories about being a scout in the National Basketball
The
Association.
walking quotable.
Walking quotable. Yeah. Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern as well. Black News Channel. Get it on Dish Network, Comcast, Xfinity, Spectrum Charter, and also ATT Verse, Direct TV as well. 70 million homes there. Black News Channel doing some great things there. Keep selling those advertising, guys. We like it. We love it. We love it. We love it. Keep it going. Anything else before we get out here?
Get ready to watch this drive.
Kelly, you okay, Kelly?
Momming.
Well, I've seen that. Look, you got a mom.
That motherly scowl.
Boy, you got a motherly scowl. That's exactly
Because he knows he can get away with stuff
Nah,
while
my
I'm
mom
on with
my
you
mom
guys.
used to scare the crap out of me, bro. Like,
Tell-
I mean,
Talk to the teeth.
tell little man we about to be done. It ain't gonna keep going. Hey, buddy, we're almost done, buddy. We can't save you
Hey, man.
anymore.
Right, exactly.
Can he
He's
hear us?
sneaking candy. No, he cannot. He's sneaking candy while
hey,
we're
just,
on.
hey,
The
just,
headphones on.
hey,
No
Kelly,
robots.
what-
No robots.
Kelly,
Headphones.
whatever you do, don't go Greg Marshall on him.
I know.
Play
He
angry.
has the attitude.
And now he doesn't want to be here.
Yeah,
Classic.
he has the attitude.
Okay, that was a trash. That's a T-Rash move right there, man. Good stuff. Let's Kelly get out. Let's let Kelly get out of here. Thanks for watching Esports Extra, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports, esports, and gaming. For Kevin Mamuzek, Kelly Wills Brinkley, the motherly scowl. Hey, Willie down there, shoot your thing, man. Have some news for us tomorrow with some more association talk. OG flying with them Dayton Flyers out there in Ohio. I'm Larry Ridley, SNY TV, Little NBC Sports. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.